Yes, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Summit 9. We are getting ready for the first series of the second day of the groups here. It is, of course, OpTic versus Let's Do It, and it's going to be an exciting one. We had some fun games from both of the teams yesterday. We saw a bit of Pudge sort of mixed around on the side of Let's Do It. And OpTic, we didn't really get the chance to talk about them before the break. From what we saw yesterday, is this OpTic as you expected, or is this a little... What do you reckon about OpTic's performance so far?
Is it on me? I thought it was on Kyle.
I think Blitz.
It's on any of them.
Hey,
I was like,
I looked at Kyle,
and
and Kyle looked at Blitz.
Yeah,
and then Blitz
I
just
looked at Kyle as well, and then I was just like, I'll wait for Kyle's response, and then, okay, I think.
I had to see which way the wind's blowing, before I hop on the.
He literally was he not looking straight at Kyle?
Yeah,
I was like, all right.
I didn't know that entailed. That was more of an invitation.
They've been establishing eye contact
you.
like most of the time.
There's like some weird
together.
chemistry thing that we should get going, BSJ.
Yeah.
We'll just look at each other.
Okay. Gaze.
God, you're handsome.
I can't. What?
So OpTic, yeah. I think OpTic is a really solid team. They're like constantly growing, I think, as a team. Like, I think the coolest part was after Misery left, they stuck with CCNC.
Yeah.
CCNC, there were like times where I think he was their worst player, and he was like, he stood out as a weak link.
Sure.
But they stuck with him. They gave him a lot of confidence, and now you're seeing like, I mean, he's #1 in NA leaderboards. He's grinding games. And the thing about the guy is that he constantly improves because he's got that kind of personality where, yeah, I mean, everyone rages in pubs, but for the most part, he is a kind of person that wants to learn. Like all the pros, I think the one thing that they say about him is when we get him in games, he's always asking like questions. He will listen to people. He'll try to learn from stuff like that.
Do you mind if I feed down mid or?
I was actually that's a perfect segue because I was gonna say to the people out there, like, despite the fact that he's known for his like Reddit feed down mid plays, I feel like he's actually one of the best. I enjoy playing with him.
I think so too.
If you try to win, he's like always trying to win. Like, and he's trying to get better. He's trying to like basically improve himself. And I think one thing that he talked to us about, and Kyle then mentioned, was that we asked him why he wasn't playing aggressively on TA in their second game versus who was Fnatic, yeah. And he was just like, oh well, even though we just lost to Meepo, he didn't panic. He's like, we knew that if I had Deso, BKB, and took Rosh, and then got a sheepstick, got a pick off, we'd end the game. And he just laid it out very clearly. And that's something where maybe you know that, but to have somebody like him where at the beginning of the year you're talking about all the things you mentioned, but having the confidence to just dictate the entire pace of the game for a team like OpTic, like, I just think that's very impressive. Just to say, yeah, guys, we're fine. Like, no, everyone chill. This is our timing. This is what's going to happen. And it makes your whole team like be in a better spot when your most impactful hero in that given game can do that.
Yep. I think 3-3 is another guy you can just touch on because he's just a standout performer.
Yeah, I was going to say you were
series
going
he
on about him
plays.
yesterday.
But I don't think it's as drastic a difference as it was maybe like 3-4 months ago when everyone was just like, holy crap, they were playing like this Brood. He'd pick one of 4 heroes that buy HOD and just carry his team, whereas now I think they've all sort of settled into their roles on the squad and they all excel at what they're trusted to do. But CCNC is definitely one of the more improved players throughout the year.
I mean, not to take away anything from everyone else. I feel like Pycat's been nothing but just a rock. Like, he just does exactly what you expect him to do every game and just fills in the gaps. Like, they've been kind of drafting around 33, and I feel like Pycat's done a great job of taking like a more of a 2-3 position on this team, even though he's playing carry.
I mean, I was going to say, BS, because talking about Pycat, he had a period where he was on a lot of sort of tier 2, even tier 3 teams where it just didn't look great. But now here on OpTic, he really is looking like one of the best carries in the world. Like, what has changed? What do you think has sort of allowed Pycat to return to this level that he did used to be at? We did used to see him on sort of the top lineups, but now it seems he's just better than ever.
Yeah, sometimes it could just be how well you fit into a certain team, I feel like.
It's slightly off topic, but this is something I appreciate and I think every captain should do. I'm glad PPD does it here, where he bans the silencer, kind of gives an opening for you to first pick Crystal Maiden, and immediately he has a response in mind.
Yeah,
which is
quick.
something that like you need to do as second pick. Like, there's a very short list usually of heroes that are going to be overall first picked. There's no reason not to come prepped with an opener in response to each one. And
Yeah,
CM
you know
is like
what's coming.
the most obvious you can go for immediately. Necro Pudge, Pugna from Let's Do It, but I like the Pudge pick a lot because it really covers the Necrophos, and it's to address the Pugna that you can almost certainly expect
I was
will
going
be
to ask
second
about
picked.
that.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be second pick.
Yeah, and Pugna can't do anything to Pudge like the entire game. So I like the pick a lot.
Yeah, so my thing was, I was basically going to ask you, Kyle, because you're the drafter out of all of us here, is that when you pick Necro, for the viewers out there, like, it is a known in the high levels that Pugna is the one of the primary hero in the core role that counters Necro. So if you know he's coming, is the only way to either ban it or to, like you said, pick a support that you think kind of deal. Like, I can see what you're saying by, like, Pudge is good against Pugna, but is it good enough to, like, outweigh how good Pugna is against Necro?
Thing is, you can itemize against it. Necrophos is one of those. I don't know how to put it. For lack of a better word, it's like you're a tank, you know? So it just means that you're going to itemize towards a hood instead of other items. Like
Just
you
whatever-
said, you go Veil, Hood, maybe a Force, right? You don't have incredibly high mana costs or need to spam spells the same way that other int heroes, such as Skywrath, Storm to an extent, maybe even like Quap. Like
Reapers is like 500 mana.
Yeah,
later levels, though.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's a
true.
Reaper scythe. Like, theoretically, you can just... I get what you're saying. My point is, you can itemize for a hood. It's more about the Pugna's ability to just deal damage through Ghost Shroud, but I think it's fine because you're naturally going to try and itemize for survivability, and you can buy a hood without impacting your ability to
Be your hero.
perform your role. A Skywrath mage can't buy a hood
That's true.
and play
That's a
Dota
good
the
point.
same
That's
way.
actually a good point. They immediately get rid of these like mobile carries from Let's Do It because we saw, I think it was OpTic's lineup that was the CM Skywrath where it felt like you just couldn't catch these heroes. And immediately Force Staff comes to mind when you see Crystal Maiden Pugna. So I think that they need to... yesterday when we saw OpTic's lineup where they lost with this similar lineup, they basically had Force Staff issues. And it was all game where... And then the opposing team, I think it was Fnatic, built like 3 or 4 Force Staffs. So I think that that's something that most teams always consider and sometimes you forget.
I mean, I've just seen so many games where people don't pick stuns. There's, I think,
Yeah.
last game yesterday, Pain had Lina as their one stun. It's very hard to play Dota that way.
Especially when you're the Lina.
I think it's because people nowadays are prioritizing so heavily on lanes that you just lack for these hard disables. You just want these guys that annoy you, spam out, clear lanes.
Yep.
But that's why I think Pudge is such a good hero right now because he does a lot for you, right? He can clear a wave as a support. You have catch potential at all times. Your laning phase is not that bad because at level 2 you have kill potential on anybody. You have max range hook into rot. You're probably going to get a kill or at least deal heavy damage. Like this hero,
65 base damage.
yeah, it's like a very solid all-around option. It can kill lanes. It does okay in the laning phase. The downside of it is like you throw one hook and then you have to chill for like 30 seconds. But
I mean, it's the same as like it's like higher risk reward compared to like, you know, the Shaker that we saw for years and years in Dota 2. Now it's just a more interesting form. You know?
yeah, it's like this hero as a support doesn't die to people.
Yeah.
He's like you've got like 4,000
Dude,
health.
if he does, you just suicide. Just
Yeah,
like,
it's
peace.
just, you kill. You're chill about everything. Your ult goes through BKB as well, which is always going to be incredibly useful. So it means that you continue to scale as the game goes on. All your talents scale.
Yeah, that's an underrated aspect of the hero as well. BKB piercing disables are few and far between.
Yeah.
In addition, as you said, his talents are actually just nuts.
They're
and then
so good.
To go back to your original point, why he's viable, why we're seeing him in games nowadays, it's not a meme, is mostly due to the hook change, I think,
Yeah.
which enables Pudges to now max rot. So level 5, you're dealing like 100, I want to say 95.
I think it's 30, 60, 90, 120.
Yeah. So you're just doing, let's call it 100 DPS at level 5 just by being near other
And
enemies.
slow.
And the hook is now max range, so you're allowed to do that. They go Witch Doctor, easy follow-up, good support combination. And this is something OpTic seems to be prioritizing, is all of these heroes with some form of self-sustain. They're very much a heal tank.
You brought up Earthshaker though, and I think like the last thing I want to make about Pudge is the cool thing about Earthshaker, like even a year ago and before that, is that you had solo kill potential on anybody once you had Blink. And the thing with Pudge is like if you hook ult somebody when you're level 6, even if they're like level 9, you're probably gonna kill that person.
Yeah.
You just grab like an urn or something like that. It's so scary when you have these heroes in Dota that can just straight up solo kill you with their abilities, no items needed.
It's especially, I like the 1+1 heroes for which is really just, you know, yeah, that's a kill, most likely.
Yeah.
But if there's another person there with the Pudge, it is guaranteed. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to land that.
That's such a good Weaver pick.
It's nice.
Yeah,
They
well,
need, like, a
especially with the Void ban. If there was no Void ban, I would hate that pick, but...
I feel like you have to pick Sven here
Sven.
Sven?
I don't-
Sven.
What?
because
I
they
know
have,
you're normally good at the 4, but
you
Sven?
need a stun that
reckon?
goes with AA. You need a laner that stuns with AA,
Okay.
like almost always. So like CK Sven come to mind.
Surely,
And
yeah,
then
CK surely
you
is
see
more...
Witch Doctor Weaver, and it's like you need
Bro.
physical damage resistance.
There's no way.
You have to adjust when you pick supports like
we can put
AA.
a slap bet
I'm going
on
to
it.
slap bet on
Slap
that.
bet on
I'm
it.
down to see somebody get slapped.
What would you pick then for the
There's
carry
no
role here?
Sven.
Dude, the CK sounds way better.
I've got no Sven. You've got Sven.
I gotta look at the heroes.
Okay. Well, there's like traditional counters or traditional synergy with AA on certain heroes.
Okay, it's Ember.
So that's mid,
That I like.
almost certainly.
Just because of the massive amount of increased magical damage they have. They needed
Yeah,
the
the
reach.
decrypt and the-
And this gives them
Yeah.
the ability to find fights, which they were going to have big issues with otherwise. I love the AA Pugna. We saw Liquid use this to win a few TI games back at TI 7. It's just a massive, like, just the Ice Vortex plus the Decrep maxed out. If you talent for it, it's 98% increased magical damage or removed magical resistance, whatever we want to
That's
say.
a lot.
So I'm not good at math like we've discussed, but it does lots of damage.
That's like almost double damage. so.
Yeah.
That's your anyway. It does lots of damage.
Lots.
Lots.
Super big damage.
Super much.
The most damage.
Well,
the
then
best
what's better
damage.
with super big damage than a Sven? You know what I mean?
Dude, it's not.
You guys are
No
making
one
some
plays
sick
Sven,
points.
surely.
Look
Do
at
you-
what they
Does
need.
anyone play Sven at the moment?
Ramsey still plays Sven.
No one plays
Okay,
Sven.
Ramses does.
Look, they need some hero that has survivability. They need the centerpiece to their lineup. Because it's Let's Do It, I wouldn't be surprised to see them bring out like a Medusa.
There's Wraith. Okay, Wraith King would have made sense too. I'm
Wraith
saying
King would not have made sense.
you usually need a hero with a stun that runs in. With AA. Like that's
Yeah,
how,
I want them
this,
to be
this patch is all
I
about
want them
lanes.
to be Sven.
This patch is all about lanes.
They wouldn't have banned PL.
Like
if
AA is
dude,
a
they wouldn't-
terrible laner now.
But surely they wouldn't have banned PL if they were going to draw Sven.
Okay, Kyle, what do you think? Because I'm looking at the hero list right now,
Maybe.
and
See.
Well, but then they
But then
picked
he did get
Ember.
Ember. Yeah, I guess, yeah, okay.
So
Yeah,
your reasoning's
Nah.
out the window.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sorry.
have a feeling they
I
might
actually
go
saw
Medusa.
your train of thought,
But-
but
you think they're
going
gonna go Dusa?
I think they might, yeah.
They banned a Brood coming up at this ban.
you don't pick Dusa into Weaver with a last pick counter.
They did ban Brood, so Kyle,
Okay, they're not
Dude,
picking
could they
Sven.
not just go Marana?
they're not picking Sven.
they just ban
ESJ
Brood.
is trying not to get
Dude,
slapped.
They just ban Brood. No, they're not picking
Dude,
Sven.
wouldn't Marana be good? You got the magic camp, you got the setup for the arrow.
CK or Sven.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
I
it's
got
Lone
it.
Druid.
Should have seen that one
It's
coming.
like-
They ran that yesterday and it
Yeah.
looked great.
Is that good against
I
Witch
love that
Doctor?
pick, yeah. It's not great
Doesn't it
against...
suck against Necro?
It-
Isn't it
it's
terrible
actually
against
like
Weaver?
it's kind of bad against everything on OpTic, but I think it
Just that you liked
fills
it.
it fills the gaps and it has incredible synergy. It's not about the
It's a
enemy
tower
team's
hitter
draft.
too.
It's about your boys.
What you want to do.
Yeah, it's
I
about
don't know,
having the
man.
right crew.
I mean, Lone Druid is bad against Necro because of the percentage race on your bear.
Yeah.
You can't burst
The Weaver
Necro.
bugs.
You can't really get Pudge hooks you. Your main hero, Witch Doctor stun bounces between you and your guy, but it's all good.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like it's just important you have balance.
Oh, a Shadow Fiend.
yeah, let's go.
So it's an
Like,
offlane
sick.
Necro.
Would BSJ be the first choice as a panelist? Maybe not, but he fulfills a
Jeez.
unique role that provides balance, not just to the force, but to the couch.
Yes.
Hmm.
There you go. I offer the Sven the niche picks. You saw the Wraith King yesterday. I called that one. with the
BSJ,
Tigers.
are you not gonna? I'm gonna start defending because we have that connection. I will start defending
Thank
you when
you.
he goes on you. Okay.
White Knight me,
I'll white
please.
knight the hell out of you.
Oh man, I'm ready. I feel like when you have last pick for mid, if you can ever pick a hero
Yeah.
that just has an awesome matchup that does okay in the game, like he's a natural BKB builder. So, whenever I see these last picks,
Well, so is it? This is a 1v1 where we could see CCNC just take,
yeah,
Oh yeah.
just stomp it.
SF destroys Ember,
Yeah,
especially if you
absolutely.
win the first wave. And as we know, CCNC does give
He knows
a
how
lot
to
of
glyph.
care
Yeah.
over the first wave. Quick points. Exotic Deer's drafting. Was he doing that yesterday? Because I don't know if I was paying attention. And he
Can't
last
remember.
picked.
you are the let's do
This
it.
is
You
why-
honestly, you're the Let's Do
This
It
is why
expert.
carries don't draft because they last pick their hero for themselves.
I'm telling you this patch, you should not last pick carry. Like,
Probably not,
if
especially
I'm in
if you
pubs
pick it into
especially, I'm
a lot
like,
of accounts.
I'm just against the Necro Pudge. I'm against Triamaron. I'm just going to pick my hero now because there's nothing
Yeah.
that's going to get any better.
So looking at the game for predictions, I'd say the SF BKB is your huge timing. I
Yeah.
expect CCC to go the standard SF item build, which is like this Shadow Blade, BKB Hex. All those items are sick timings. The way Let's Do It wins is if their Ember Pugna just kind of go off. They have incredible sustain from the CM aura, and then AA is just they have so much damage
it's so
assist
much
from the
magical just-
supports. But they have to be ahead. They have to be the ones diving in on top of OpTic. If OpTic ever get to a death ball or allowed to play 4-1 with Weaver connecting, it's going to be a very hard game.
Sure,
but
it
I favor
just-
OpTic.
'cause
for
you
sure.
get BKBs and OpTic, and then Let's Do It. They literally can't do anything.
If Ember is not there, Weaver is unkillable.
Yeah.
Like, actually unkillable. So, like, I just look at this kind of game, and we saw, I think it was Pyke yesterday, right? Like, that he was on Weaver, and he was all over the map. Yeah, and I just think that Weaver's a hero that, like, in this patch especially, because he's been buffed in the laning stage, he can get that snowball going a little bit better, and I think he'll just get, like, Diffusal BKB, then he's, like, unkillable. And they have heavily reliant mana on, like, the two supports and Ember, where these heroes don't really have, even though they're int heroes, don't have high mana pools. So, I don't know. I feel like OpTic's draft is just way better. That's my
I'm going
opinion.
to keep score today.
Okay.
Oh, the predictions.
oh,
yes.
Oh, there we
So
go.
I'm going to go for OpTic.
Okay, me too.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I've got to go with OpTic on this one as well.
Okay.
I like to be a contrarian, and so I'm gonna go with Let's Do It, even though I think
Nice.
it's a pretty
Whoa,
one-sided OpTic
whoa,
game.
whoa. Go with your heart. Don't do it for the fans.
Yeah, but like it's a panel curse kind of thing.
You
One
think
of
we'll
us-
all lose?
I'm gonna hedge our
You're
bets.
biting the bullet for
We
us.
haven't
that we
tested
hedge
the
our
panel
bets.
curse here,
Yeah.
to be
True.
fair. You know, we don't
I just
know
feel
what
like
the,
if
sort of
you
the
last
auras
pick
are like.
something that's countered by all four heroes already in the draft, I don't like it.
Okay, here I'll play devil's advocate. I think Ember, it sucks in the lane against SF, but it feels very good in the game.
You can kill him.
Once you hit like 50 minutes and SF's at like 5-second BKB, it's really hard to play Shadow Fiend at that point because you have to preemptively pop your BKB. You take half damage already. There's no real natural way for SF to heal, so you can't go this like satanic item because it doesn't feel very useful when your BKB's at 5. So you have no way to get through it. Whereas like Ember, the best thing about Ember and what makes him such a beast late game is that he has that ability to just keep jumping in and out and taking no damage, right? And you can
Yeah.
reset with things like Blink and Travels.
Is if SF has Manta BKB Hurricane Pike, he's like never killable.
What? He's not buying 2 of those items.
He's not going to buy
Yes,
Manta.
he's buying Manta 100% this game against Ember Spirit,
Slap
Pugna,
bet?
and Lone Druid,
Slap
and
bet?
Crystal Maiden.
Guys, I think I did not feel good about slapping Grant.
You started.
No
it.
slap
You
bet. No
started
slap
the
bet.
trend.
No- nobody
if
should get
CCNC
slapped
does not
anymore.
have Manta and BKB, most likely a Hurricane Pike in his build, I will be shocked.
Okay.
But
That's my
shocked-
prediction.
Will you be shocked like a...
You'll be physically ill.
Yes.
Shocked
I
like
will
a-
have a stern talking with him after the game of asking him why I was wrong.
I don't know. We were talking a lot about SF. I think the Weaver is more of the issue. I don't see them
Yeah.
killing him in this game.
Diffusal BKB. And
And
he's-
this is what I think Pycat's like favorite hero style is. He loves these really annoying carries that just elude you all throughout the map. The Morphlings, the PLs, etc.
Well,
So-
okay, Crick, come up to the mic.
Oh, here we go.
Whose draft do you favor here?
Radiant has a pudge, so that's pretty good.
All right. Aside from that, so they're saying that they think Weaver's pretty much unkillable in this
I
game.
think this ACM Pugna, they have like no real stuns, so yeah, I don't know how they kill Weaver. They have to have like, he has to use ulti and then they need to get like chains or bite on him. It's pretty unrealistic, I think.
Yeah.
There's actually no way to prevent Weaver from ulting unless they catch him in a fear.
and you can ult through AA ult.
Correct.
Like, it's not considered heal, so you will gain all your health back.
And 3 bounty runes.
Thank you, Crick, by the way, for his
Yes.
analysis.
Celeb shot.
Selection. So he agrees with you guys. He thinks that this Weaver, I mean, the Void pick would have been sick because
Yeah.
Yeah.
the thing is, at any
That
point in
would
the
have
game,
solved a lot.
the Void will kill the Weaver.
Yeah.
There's no item that you'll build on that Weaver that makes you feel good.
You'd have to get like Eon Disc later on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you don't want to be an Aeon Disc Weaver.
You don't.
Let's stay on this mid lane because this first wave is... If SF gets 3-4 CS out of it, it's just an unwinnable matchup for Ember. And oh, I don't know if I want to shield first wave like this, my friend.
Oh, I mean,
He's going to push the wave in.
Archer deny. It doesn't. You don't want to push the wave in here though. 'Cause you're just giving SF souls. Now CCNC just auto attacks a bit. He'll pull a couple creeps in, and he can get these uncontested.
Oh, very smart. Look at that.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Kyle, I was agreeing with you.
Oh.
I said he's gonna push the wave in, and then you thought that I meant that was a good thing.
Oh, it sounded like he was doing
It
what
sounded
he
like
wanted.
approval.
No,
Yeah,
I
like-
was like, oh, he's pushing the wave
Is he
in.
dead?
Nah, he's fine.
I actually think he's. Oh,
No,
okay.
he's not.
he's
Okay,
got-
Yeah.
I forgot that. I forgot they nerfed like the level 1 like stack of raises.
Yeah,
think-
so this lane's over. DCNC is going to be able to like take a
Oh,
huge advantage
top?
up here.
So I already used all his mana, so he has thrown out the hooks.
I think lanes are, you're going to trade top if you're OpTic, I think. But you're going to crush mid and down bottom. I don't think Weaver's ever threatened, and then you get to leave him alone. I like the Witch Doctor. You know, it's funny, when I was playing a couple games, I didn't realize the new style on Witch Doctor was you just skill your heal, because my Dota Plus said 0% of the time was that viable.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that Dota Plus was completely wrong, and that your job is just to sit there with heal on and right click.
Dota Plus doesn't adapt to the meta. You know, it tells you what's been the meta. Not
I
what
love
is the
Dota
meta.
Plus.
No,
It's
no, no.
brilliant.
Yeah, no, you just got to know if you're trying to innovate. That's not
Great
what it's
job,
for.
Val. I
It's,
love
to,
it.
it's to tell you what people are currently doing. You know.
Owen is still looking for
Owen's-
jobs.
I mean, the problem is when you have these players like Kyle, who
Yeah.
it's not. They've never considered it their job to have like innovative, unique thought.
Mm.
So like
It's true.
that's where Dota Plus it can backfire for them.
I just go with the current.
Yeah.
Kyle goes on that Dota buff. He's like, "What are people picking lately?"
Yeah. What? Wait a minute. How am I supposed to play Witch Doctor now?
Yeah, it's funny. There's a, I'm sure that the Dota buff like win rates overall do speak something about what's good. Because like Omni Knight is an example. I swear, was it like 60% win in all of Dota for a solid 3 years before people in competitive were like, hey,
Wait.
this guy with a 90 GPM talent at level 10, 100 damage at level, maybe there's something to this.
And he
Wow,
also got
he-
buffed to that point, right?
Yeah.
Well, they killed the bear.
The bear.
Did they kill the bear?
Oh.
Oh, the double fear.
Oh.
That was actually pretty sick. For those of you who don't know, if you level up the bear, it resets the cooldown.
Oh.
In my 5 lone druid games all time, I learned that.
Have you been watching Bulldog stream?
Why don't you play that hero? That seems like
That's way too complicated for
It's
BSJ.
two. We're talking. I struggle with the 1 unit. Okay, now you got 2.
Oh, here we go.
yeah, but you're a Lycan player.
Yeah.
This will be your first blood. It's the PPD.
It's fine if there's like 10, but if it's 2, that's
It's like a real specific
Yeah.
number thing.
yeah. Exactly.
I love Pycat's build. I think this is the proper start. You want to go 1-1-1 Weaver. All your skills are really nice.
Oh,
Your
I
bugs are what make you
Yeah.
insane.
I've been with Weavers that skip bugs or max their Geminate, and I get
Oh.
really upset.
That would upset me as well.
Yeah.
See, since he's
Oh,
not
so
doing.
look at this man. Nisha's doing.
Yeah,
He's doing very well for himself. He's even
That's
in this
surprising,
matchup.
actually. Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, this gets harder for him as the lane progresses. SF level 5 and 7 are the big timings.
It's pretty important they gank for Nisha when he hits 6, though,
Yeah.
because the minute you hit 6 on Ember, you have a timing that you can kill the SF.
Zai getting a little bit low here.
Also, really important that the Ember rotates. Like, it's a hard game for Nisha because, like Crit said, he's like their he's their one consistent stun. So, if he shows up in any lane, he can most likely give them a double kill if the other people are there. But if he's not there, I don't know how they find kills, with the exception of trading like this up top.
Yeah, you have one core in Lone Druid that never. I mean, what is he gonna do in a gank? He's gonna fear, and that's his contribution. Maybe you go for like the super RNG and hope for the entangle, and you've got a Pugna that, for the most part, like he's not a static hero, but you know what he wants to do. He wants to just hit towers. So in mid lane,
Oh. When?
TCNC.
Oh no. Oh
CM
no.
Nova?
CCNC.
Fairy Fire?
Is he actually okay?
He's fine. He's not
no,
fine.
he's dead.
He's fine.
Oh,
Oh, what the hell was that?
Look at that range.
Jeez, what an attack move. Pugna dies bot, unfortunately.
Bounty
for him.
rings 4 of them are going to go to OpTic, though.
So it's worth. Great job, Season. See, that's space made.
That
right
he
there.
knows. He knows that if they make a play on him at that moment, that like
They can't
he's
get
just
the
getting
rings.
4 bounties.
Yeah.
Well, that hook was totally unnecessary, but I understand. It's just so satisfying to land successful hooks.
And
No
get your
mana.
mana back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't lose anything for it. Oh.
Yeah, he probably wishes he had hook right now.
Probably.
He's got it now though. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh.
All the jukes. You got to
Okay.
know that's coming. He does that all the time, actually. His eye's very good at that.
I mean, this could set up for a couple of kills for CCNC. Oh no, couldn't quite get there in time.
CM is so annoying to play against.
She is indeed.
Oh, thank you for that insight, PS4.
Yeah. I figured the one time I agreed with you would be worth noting.
You guys are so cute.
Thank you.
I can sense the tension,
The sexual tension.
the energy.
In case that wasn't already implied.
Yeah,
What other kind of tension?
What did you think I meant?
I don't know.
Yeah, he just had to make
there
sure
could
we
be,
were
like,
all
an
on the same
aggressive-
page.
This is like me when I said he pushed the wave.
This is team communication. We're all on the same page, guys. That's what we're making sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
what's
Necro.
happening here? Yeah, 33. In a bit of trouble. Confidence going to kick in. He will get hooked by Zion and
I
attempt
don't
to
know
save
about
him.
that.
Is
But
this
he's
the
dead.
classic roaming AA?
Look
The
at that.
roots.
Ellie Sash coming in. 3-1 and 2. He's been involved in every kill so far.
The roots are on fire.
This is what I used to be able to do playing AA before they nerfed him. The change to your E, it starts out at 10 damage now per proc instead of 20. Is like makes you just kind of worthless in lanes. But when you start roaming at this point,
It's
you're
at
incredibly strong. Huh?
It starts at 20.
Oh, sorry.
It
What?
starts at 20 instead of 30. It
Yeah.
used to start at 30.
Never mind. That was a different ability.
It's the same idea, though. It's drastically less damage.
Hmm.
I got your back, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. Somebody has to look out for you.
But we've got to talk about this mid lane. Like, you got to
Yeah.
say that CCNC, he should have won this lane way hard. Like, this
Yeah.
is, Nisha is very happy with how this is going.
Yeah, I'd say if you're down by 4 CS on Ember, you're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how it was possible, to be honest, because SF starts hitting for like 50 more damage once you get maxed out level 4 souls. Or, level 2 souls when you're level 4.
Yeah, it's still happening where it doesn't seem like Ember... I guess SF has to play a bit scared just because if he walks up, he could possibly die, but...
He did die the one time as well.
Yeah.
Well, there's the root.
Dude, the roots. I underestimated this lone druid's kill
gamer.
potential.
Yeah.
If he keeps rooting like that,
And if he lands one, then they get the free cold feet as well.
yeah.
The
It's a
only
kill.
way they win this lane against a hero like Necro is by killing him over and over again, so...
That's
they
aggression.
they're doing the right thing.
Got Zai back in the lane. 33. He's going to have cold feet procced on him. Katsu's just trying his best to hide it, but Zai is on the hunt. We'll find the CM.
I'm just studying because I've never seen a safe lane of mine win, so...
I mean, you just
In
put
this
3
patch.
heroes in there.
Yeah.
Well, 4,
The
actually.
lone Druid is a very strong laner, so that is they do have that going for them
I mean,
in this game.
I was going to say, because it really seemed like they picked this because they knew that the Zai Pudge was going to be there. As a Pudge, how do you sort of bully a lone Druid at the early
That's
stage?
true.
He keeps the bear on you. He's got the fear to separate you when you're running him down with the right. It's a very safe hero.
It's not
to
a hero
play.
that comes to mind when I think of against Pudge, but it actually makes sense the way that's been playing out.
I mean, part of it is that because they can't do anything at bottom, like they have no kill potential on
Yep.
this Weaver, and every time somebody shows up, they just get bugged and ran down. I think it's really easy to make the decision to go for the safe lane tri lane here. But part of the problem is, I mean, the SF should have free farm. The Weaver all have free farm. You're losing 2 or
Yep.
3 lanes.
Yeah.
The thing is, even though you're getting kills top, you're still
Yeah, the
trading
Necro's
in
got
CS. Yeah, exactly. Whereas bottom, Pugna's just significantly outlaned by a Weaver by himself. Even with this, and the CM's just keeping him safe. It looks like they're going to smoke mid. And SF 700 net worth ahead of Ember, so I'm sure he's been buying a bunch of salves on Nisha.
This goes to show you the state of the game that Let's Dude are saying to themselves, well, we can't kill this Weaver. There's not even really a point in laning against him because it's just an empty body that doesn't do anything. All you have is death potential. But they're going to make this move.
Indeed,
They're
mid
gonna get him, I
lane.
think. He's just
They
gonna
got
get
him.
him, suck him dry. Oh.
What?
What are we talking about again? I basically feel like the problem is in this game, when I'm playing a carry and I'm having a good start, I'm thinking to myself how easy it is to kill me.
Oh,
And Weaver,
PPD.
he's going to shrine. He's fine.
He's got the Weaver here, though. He's not fine, is he?
He's fine. He's actually fine.
No, he actually is fine, yeah.
Theater.
he's out of there. In
Okay.
fact, Podcast's got to be careful.
I mean, I shrine force, but I just saying that in this case, like lone druid always has to be scared of dying past this laning stage, while Weaver, like we've talked about time and time again, is just never gonna die.
The thing is that they will hit a really nice timing on Let's Do It, though. If they can get behind like a Radiance on Lone Druid, Pugna just spams Blast. Like, you get to a point where you can't really puncture the death ball of Let's Do It, and then they have the insane threat of just Ice Vortexes dropped everywhere. All of a sudden there's a slight change and someone just explodes.
And we've got mid. Zai, as soon as he's back in the game, he's getting gone on straight again.
Man,
He's died
Zai is
5 times
not-
this game. That's a 6th
Oh,
time.
Jukes the coconut, too. They're going to go in for more.
They've got the
Wow,
Ice Blast on him.
he's
He's
dead.
dead.
Well played by man. Nisha's
Okay.
on fire.
I mean, he
Literally.
Hey.
We're really getting the synergy. Oh, okay. I almost left Kyle hanging there. My question is he going like the Helmdom build on Lone Druid?
I think so.
Is he going like the Helmdom Radiance? I've been seeing a lot
Yeah.
of range for him.
Yeah, but when you have a
Oh, you went Midas Radiance.
Midas.
I actually don't mind that.
Yeah.
You want to
Like,
pace
I-
in this game.
Yeah, I feel like he actually can't force towers anyway against the heroes that OpTic have. So
He's got Pugna.
yeah, he doesn't have. That,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I basically meant. Was
I have
he
not
doesn't
seen a
to.
Midas Lone Druid in a long time.
Dude, Zai still doesn't have boots.
Ouch.
Maybe some of OpTic aren't morning people. You know, we saw yesterday, Zion CCNC, they had a bit of a rough game one, but then game two they played like gods. You know, it's just a rough game one. You know?
I will say that
So it is early here.
I feel like this Ember is able to have way more impact than he should. I personally have, whenever I see in pubs that an Ember versus an SF, the Ember gets obliterated. So
In the laning phase, but
yeah, they usually come back,
Yeah.
but like the comeback takes longer than this because they didn't have quite a good a start.
when your core has like mobility and a disable, and the other one doesn't, like SF, yeah, you're gonna lose in the laning phase. But eventually, like the nature of your hero will kick in.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm just saying. I feel like it's kicking in earlier than it.
Oh,
it
for
should.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm also surprised by just how well this has gone. I think part of it is that he doesn't. Like we talked about how he probably needed to move around the map a lot, but that hasn't really needed to happen because they keep killing random people on the map.
Yeah.
Like they're killing mid. Yeah, this Weaver's getting more or less free farm, but like he's only 4th right now in net worth. They're gonna see his items not really get too scared, and as long as they're killing everybody else, like I doubt they care too much.
Oh, what a play by CCNC to juke the AA ulti moving forward.
I mean, he
instead of
still
back.
dies before Nisha dies, though, so Nisha's still getting the better trade there.
I was all for PBD's levels, solo XP. He's actually almost level 7 off that, but it's definitely not worth.
I think right now in this game, you just have to ignore Pycat and think to yourself like, well, he's gonna get what he's gonna get.
Cat's still going for the ult. He's got TP backup coming
I
in. but-
really feel like they should just ignore him.
Yeah.
I think Pycat should be on this side of the map for a very long time. I think that's really important because whenever you're like a Pugna type hero, you just want to take the enemy safe lane tower, and if Pycat's bottom, they can't ever take it. So I agree with what you're saying,
like
and I
this.
think Pycat knows this, and he's just going to keep staying bottom.
I like that he played around Fog there
Yeah.
to ensure that he would be able to get the bugs off.
Oh,
Really
I
nice-
really,
really
I
nice
really
play
feel
by
like
Pycat.
they
You
shouldn't
gotta
be
leave.
here.
So you
against
just,
Dom.
Yeah.
this has been a mistake.
The only
sending
hero
people
that should
down.
ever go bottom is Ember, and it's
Yeah.
simply to clear the wave with
you know,
Flame Guard.
I was going to bring this up. Someone on OpTic really needing a Yules. I love that Necro just rushed it here. This is something 3-3.
Zai. No hits in 5.
I really respect 3-3's itemization. He always puts a ton of thought into the items he buys in each specific game, and this is perfect because it's the only real save you have against like this AACM spam. You purge the Flame Guard of the Ember, and it's really nice to have an offensive purge against
there's the
Lone
hook.
Druid as well. You get rid of the Rabid. Right
You
here.
still get hit by the AO, but otherwise, I mean, it's obviously the best. I
Yeah.
agree with you. It is the best item.
You just want one, mostly for the offensive purposes. Like you can catch the Pugnus Decrab, you purge the Rabbit. Like there's so much to dispel, and then you don't really need armor in this game because you just fear magical damage. So you go Yules, probably into Hood. It's going to be a Hood, and then you can get whatever you want.
I think Force Staff would be really
Yeah,
good.
I agree. Force is super good whenever you're playing against AA. That's for sure, because you just juke all his spells, obviously.
Yeah, heroes like Lone Druid, you do catch them with Yules. Like it actually serves as a way to
Yeah.
pick them off. Like you know, a lot of cores don't just die if you Yules them, but Lone Druid is a positioning-based hero.
You see that swing in the net worth and the experience from the 2 heroes going down at bottom. It just doesn't feel very good when you know that the
Yeah.
Weaver, who's already going to have a really easy game because of the heroes that he's against,
Yeah.
is also just having this like free laning phase.
Yeah.
But I think as bad as it is, you kind of just have to accept it and say like when he rotates, hopefully we're a ball
XP
and maybe
and I
we
like
can
it.
engage him at that point.
Yeah.
But in this laning phase, when you just bring 1 or 2 heroes in mid,
Mid lane again,
Zai.
Zai getting taken down as they jump in upon him. He really is having a rough one. This has got to be one of the poorest purges I feel we've seen at 14-minute mark.
they're going to make a go on a 33. Oh, the fear into the CM ult.
That was actually pretty sick.
The Yules onto the CM. Do we have any
He's just
roots?
full health. Oh.
Got him.
Easy kill.
The rotations were a bit late there. He lived for about as long as you could hope. Pycat again down bottom. Gets the rune. Oh, no mana. He's got a wand, though.
Misses on the chain. Is just going to ulti and...
Yeah. Good try. Good try.
I mean, that's about the best chance you have of killing Weaver, and it's not going to... Like, you have to chains him when he doesn't have ult.
See, if this were a better Lone Druid game, I'd feel like they were in a... Let's Do It would be in a great position, but I just... I don't like his matchups in this game. I
Yeah.
feel like the bear dies very easily. You do your damage far too slowly to really get through the sustain.
Oh,
that
what a
was
hook! Sick.
But he's probably in
He
trouble,
didn't
Zai.
bite him.
Okay, they
plus.
might actually just lose both supports here.
I feel
They're
like he
both
should
done
have
for that.
bit him there. I don't know. I don't know if he wasn't quite in range when he. That was odd. I
Looked
feel
like the
if
hook.
Just,
He did the turn trick, but didn't actually pull the ember behind him, so it left him out of range
oh,
slightly.
okay. Yeah, turn rates can.
Oh, here we go. Shadowblade reveal on CCNC.
He has a sentry. He has a sentry.
Indeed.
Oh, that,
Rumbled.
So
he barely was in range of that.
Yeah.
He wasn't in it originally,
Yeah.
and then walked into it because he was trying to keep up with the lone druid.
When he first threw it, he's like, oh, well, he definitely doesn't see me. That was just good prep from Let's Do It. They're protecting their lone druid.
Yep.
You should. He's the highest net worth in this game by like a...
If he dies, this
good
game
margin.
becomes really hard.
I like the build from Nisha as well. Instead of going this greedy bot style, like stay a presence. Like he's one of the stronger heroes on the map, and they need him to be involved this entire game. Lone Druid will take it later. So just go the treads, get Maelstrom, and just stay active at all times.
Actually, boot the Weaver out of bottom. That's interesting.
I think if you go for the Maelstrom build, you should go treads.
Yeah.
If you go the Radiance build, then you go for the bots. But you
Yeah.
have this lone druid that's going to get
Yeah.
Radiance anyways.
I like the. I think you might even go for like a maybe style here. You just get a BKB early, maybe a blink.
I think
Ye-
you go like what, Maelstrom Blink this game, and then you can
Yeah.
just keep, you stay on top of the SF.
Yep.
You force out some early BKBs.
You could theoretically have the blink before any BKBs come out.
Yeah. So pretty much like the way that this game works, it'll continue where Pycat is like this weird black hole where you avoid him at all costs until you feel strong enough to just 5-man and run at him with a bunch of sentries.
And Pycat, on the other hand, is going to build items that allows him to force fights on you as soon as possible. That's
Yeah.
why he's going the Diffusal BKB. Just
He wants to
like,
be a
get
presence in
his
this game.
mindset. Yeah, exactly. But like if you're Pycat, if you have like items that aren't Diffusal BKB, then you can't actually walk into 5 heroes and fight.
mid.
them.
Oh.
Mid, they've
They're gonna
found
keep doing
Quinn,
this.
and they've got him. He's not getting out of that one.
Yeah, good laning phase, but when you just get changed up, it's rough.
It's the power of the AA support. This was like the Kingwin special back when they were still Kingwin.
And this Ash will fall to Pycat. Pycat's going to look to try and chase down Katsuo. Katsuo's got the backup of
Jesus,
Nisha.
dead.
Yep.
And time lapse out.
Pycat,
And he's gonna play that way all game because he just until they have like a sheep stick on Ember or something late game, he just can't deal with it.
33 is...
Oh.
Oh,
wow.
what a player.
Wow.
3-3.
He's out.
There's no Radiance up on the Lone Druid, by the way.
Yeah, he just got it.
Okay.
17 and a half
You're right.
minutes.
They're gonna hit this timing that OpTic might not be able to deal with.
Yeah, that's and the thing is, the AA Ember is just a kill on any target that they chain right now, unless the Necro uses himself, and then there's the Weaver. So it's this weird relationship where Ember AA kills the Pudge, the SF, and the Witch Doctor. The Weaver kills the AA and the CM, and
Yeah.
you can't touch either of the core that threatens you, for either side.
Yeah, like the Weaver and Ember can't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't kill Ember if you're OpTic. It's just not really a thing right now. You need Zai's game is just so poor that usually that's a relationship. Pudge is a benefit to your team, but right now he's just a liability because he's so far behind. He's so squishy.
Mm-hmm.
Needs more of those +2s.
That's why we see Pycat now just running around the map. He's like, well, we don't really have kill potential otherwise.
I like this.
Quick roll though onto Witch Doctor, tries for the hook Zai. Only going
Still
to catch a
dead
creep.
Pugna.
And indeed they've got the Ice Blast coming through. CCC tries for the Requiem, and with Pycat moving in there, we'll be able to find the Pugna. Zai chomping on the bear, but Exotic Deer's there with the backup for his pet, and will beat down Zai. So 2 for 1 still.
They just want to stay grouped now with sense. You get the Pugna ward down, it makes it difficult for the Weaver to play.
This is the fear for OpTic. You got to find a way to deal with this Death Ball before you have BKBs online. And I really love the Midas from this Lone Druid. He's just skyrocketing in net worth, and this is the sort of game he needs to play. I just like the decision making in general from the Let's Do It players. I think they're complementing each other very well with the way they're itemizing and playing the game out.
I think they're playing this game just overall well. Like, they're set up for things. They have understood the rhythm of the game. Because it's obviously really easy for us to just say, like, don't go bottom. You're going to die. But in these game scenarios, it feels different.
Oh! We'll manage to catch
I don't think
Nisha.
this should. Wow.
What was that?
I don't think that should work. Like we were talking about how like they shouldn't be able to kill him.
My
I
man's got a
love that.
dagger.
Yep, that is the whenever you have an AA and a Pugna on your team, feel free to buy Dagon.
Oh, Zai. There's no way this works.
The pings are out. Katsu's on the hunt. He's found him.
It's going to work.
We'll find Zai. Drops the old Zai. We'll pop the hook out to cancel. And Zai does have backup of Pycat and PPD coming through. Death Ward's down. Zai will deny himself. Patos. Self-decrep. Pycat finishes off Katsu and now turns his attention back towards Patos, as he'll be able to clean up both of them.
What a play by Zai. Baiting them into the corner. Understanding that he's dead for sure, but...
Weren't they pinging him? Somebody was pinging him. Like,
Yeah, they
Nisha
were.
was.
yeah, they're like,
Courier.
guys, he's right here.
Oh! The cliff.
And the blink now comes out on the Ember, as expected.
I just want to say that if I maybe that's bad to say, but I don't think Let's Do It's that favorite right now.
No, I don't
I'd
think
say
so
it's
either.
about even.
Yeah.
I just saw the odds come up. I don't think that OpTic is particularly behind right now. I think either team can win from this
Sure.
situation.
Oh, yeah,
pretty
sure.
equally.
It gets easier for OpTic as
As
the
yeah.
game continues,
Okay.
and
Well, just because of the hero matchups.
Yeah,
mainly
Lone
is-
Druid's a hero that just falls off like a rock if he doesn't continue to hit his timings.
that's the whenever you're going bear build on Lone Druid, you have an innate timer built in just because later on in the game your bear will die. Especially in a game like this, you have 2 ranged physical DPS carries and a BKB piercing disable in the Pudge. So at any point you can just eat the bear and attack it with your 2 cores, and there's nothing you can do to.
That was actually so sick.
Pudge
I
OP.
see it held on there by Zai as he waits for the creeps and gets the hook into the side. Pados is down for 75 seconds. The rest of Let's Do It really want to fight here. We are going to have Pycat looking to try and commit straight away onto Exotic there.
BKB'd.
He's going to look to commit onto Ellie Sash with the chase down, and
Hook
he
onto
will
the bear
get
as well.
it. It's the one. Time lapse is out. And he's back in.
He's dead.
It's a good triple remnant and a deep
Oh.
Pycat with the time lapse already used. He's not got a secondary escape or save. He's down. Katsu chasing him with the dust. He has the vision onto 33 and CCNC slowing them both. The bear's moving in as well. And Frostbite down
Nice
the
heals on the
Shadow
bear.
Fiend. There's the jump forward. Nisha comes in with the 2-man change. The Roar as well onto CCNC as they claim his life. 33 will escape though with a clutch TP.
Love Nisha's play throughout this game. Like he's responsible for all the kills they set up in that fight, and once again his itemization is perfect. If he doesn't have a blink there, they miss that 1 kill on the exit, and I think if he doesn't have the Maelstrom treads, like he doesn't have the start that gets him to this point where he's almost 3rd in net worth, which is pretty impressive. He's already ahead of the Shadow Fiend.
They know he doesn't have Shra. Is he gone?
Okay.
1 hit.
I suppose going to come back on. Burst him down. In fact,
that
that's going
second
to be BPD
bear?
gone as well. And Zai,
Second bear for sure.
and that cold feed's going to proc on him. They're going to lose
What
Zai
are
as
they
well.
doing?
So
Okay.
sure, they got the bear, but they just lost everyone again.
They got 300 gold though. They
That
fought a
was-
DD Ember, but they're gonna lose their tier 2 for that. In the fight, by the way, if you notice, they tracked the Weaver. Nobody ditched. They were just hitting
Yeah.
him. They forced him to time lapse under the sentry. They get him into a good position. Like, I think my least favorite thing is when you just abandon your supports. You lose 2 supports off the bat, and you think to yourself like, well, what am I supposed to do as a support here? Weaver's chasing me, but they're staying grouped up. Nisha's still like hitting him with slides, trying to like help him out, even though the BKB is active. And you see it pay off there because of the AA. They get an additional 2 kills.
Yep.
I think a lot of core players, like especially in pubs, they see their 2 supports getting gone on, but they're doing their own thing. Like, well, we're fighting the backlines.
It's interesting. This is the first game I think I've seen AA, and I'm surprised it took this long just because there's so much Pugna in the meta now. It feels like we're almost circling back to TI7 where it's these heroes that have built-in damage amplification. Like
Yeah.
just dropping Ice Vortex in this game makes the Radiant suddenly, instead of burning for 65, is now like 80, 90. The Ember damage,
And this
Get the
AA
factor
has
in
set up
Necro
for
as
so
well.
many.
yeah.
Zai managed to find the hook, into the dismember, the damage from Pycat. Will it be enough to finish him off? The life drain, and in fact, the Roar there as well to save Nisha. The bug's still upon him. He'll be decrepit.
He had to decrypt, yeah, but so he doesn't have it for himself now.
Panos will be dove here. He actually loses
Watch
the
out for
Duke in the
Dagon.
chains. Then
Oh.
Panos is going to be saved.
Was that a BKB used by Pycat?
Yeah, it
it
was.
was. And they even have dust on the bear.
They're looking to
Oh, that was
chase
a nice
him.
defusal.
Nice defusal. He should be gone now.
They get the chains on him from Ember, but never mind, he's at base. I
Yeah.
thought that might be him chasing. Oops,
They're
see him?
still
Got the-
going for this.
all the
Another
jukes.
dust.
They didn't get him with the dust.
Another sentry down. They really want this kill. Another sentry
oh my-
and another
Another
double.
double.
They want it. They got
First
it.
hit route.
They
Wow.
deserve that.
They
put
super
that
deserve that.
work
10 out
in.
of 10 supporting
Wow,
right
Look,
there.
guys.
That's. I mean, if you don't see that in your pubs.
El Lesage is
Yeah.
always going to have sentries, all right? He'll have
That was
enough.
beautiful. Zai, the onto Pados. Thanos.
This is the Pudge versus Pugna relationship.
There
in
we
a
go.
nutshell
Finds it,
right
but
here.
he may lose his life for it because in comes Exotic Deer, ready with the chase down Zai. He's getting beat upon by the bear, and Zai will fall once again this game.
This feels like an in-house.
People are just kind of running at each other. And Pycat is now starting to overestimate his tankiness a bit. Because Let's Do It, they bring so many
Alicia.
sentries and dust. You saw their lone druid had a dust on him. Like, everybody came equipped for that fight. So you need to use your BKB a little bit more defensively now. And those back-to-back deaths, they hurt him so much.
I'm loving the item builds again. You know, the AC on Lone Druid just all in. You're hitting this timing. This is about as strong as you're going to get. The Glimmer Cape drums on the CM. You love having a Glimmer anytime you're
Look at
playing
that
against
tower.
Necro. Yep.
Ow.
Got him.
See, guys, somebody had to play devil's advocate. We're not
You're
panel
right,
cursing.
well.
Hey, man, just wait for it.
Oh.
Nice
Okay, I
play,
mean, that's the
nice
Ember down
play.
for 100.
That was all 3-3 right there. Excellent timing on the Scythe, recognizing what was going to happen.
And he psyched him when he was like 3/4
Yeah.
health.
Goodbye, bear. They get the bear and an additional
And this
kill.
is a Rosh, right?
Yep. Oh, and
They might
more.
even find...
Oh.
Um,
And he's got no TP. He might just chase out for this.
What? I did. How did he get that?
quick
Oh,
cast.
at least Ash.
Do they have a
Cancel!
cancel?
Oh, they don't!
Oh, that's the Hail Mary. They're going to get Rosh, though. That's pretty huge.
So they pick up 3 kills, the
Okay.
bear,
And
and if they get
Rosh.
Rosh on here.
Where was Ember? Oh, he just. Yeah, never mind.
He just got
died.
psyched at the
He
start.
just died, yeah.
Psyched at the start and bursted quick.
But
play.
why? No,
So
why
he's-
was he there? Just making the play?
I don't think he thought...
He
I
could
think
die.
SF was invis. You know why? It's because they didn't have a sentry on the high ground as the tower died.
Because
so
they'd already
CCNC
used
was
that.
That
already
was
set
all
up.
set up by Pycat.
Who baited
Exactly.
all
You
the
contradicted
shit out.
yourself.
Well
Kyle.
played, Pycat.
You
He's
said-
learning from me.
You
He's
said
learning from me.
Elisash will always have sentries.
he didn't have the courier. His cores were using it to get their items.
Oh,
They
it's
got an
always
ace
the
courier
cause, isn't it?
Thinking 5 moves ahead is the play in the carry role. Those tactical feeds to the
BSJ
5
saw
sentries,
himself.
I saw the lines.
The third dimension.
Yes, if you just make them use 7 sentries, but then feed, they're not going to have it for your SF. So
Podcast's like,
kill
you
them.
might have got me,
I-
but joke's on you, clowns.
Yeah.
I don't like what our lone druid friend is doing now. He's going for an Aghanim Scepter. I'm never a fan of this
that
item.
literally means I'm giving up on 5 on 5.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if they needed to. They just made one miscue. I feel like the game is
They're still
not
strong
out of
as
hand.
a group,
Yeah.
as represented by the fact that they're winning the team fights against the unkillable Weaver.
And Ags, like, I don't like Ags especially if there's multiple ways the enemy team can, like, get on top of your bear immediately. So Weaver will
Yeah.
find it, a Yules will find it, they can hook it. Like,
Oh,
there's so much to prevent
This
it
lone
being
druid
called
is
back.
just dead.
Oh, nice devil's
All right.
advocate. You got there,
It's,
Blitz.
yeah, what was that about? That Blitz? So it's-
Hey guys,
Sorry.
I gotta
Man,
go.
where's the panel curse at now? It's not.
Yeah.
You know.
One fight and Blitz gets cocky. He's like, oh.
Yeah, he's really.
Wait,
This is
wait,
what we were
yeah.
talking about, though. The way Lone Druid scales this game is he can always die. He just
Yeah.
always dies. Like he if he gets caught out like 1 or 2 times, he's just gonna die.
And the way he walked there was really odd. He had no vision and he just kind of sauntered around.
I mean, this game all is going to come down to that one death of Ember inside the base. Nisha playing a near flawless game until that point, but got to give credit where it's due. Like, that was a great play from
Yeah.
OpTic. They had the Scythe on top of the CCNC ult channel, so he has to have the faith that I'm not going to cancel it. They had the follow-up, I think, hook for a little bit of bonus damage, and the Scythe ends up finishing him with maybe like 0.1 to spare.
Pinecap popping the BKB. Want to try and commit and finish off this tower. They will lose
What's-
33.
33 is just dead.
I like that CCNC because of the game he's been having. I think you go survivability items if you're like really far ahead, but when you're not, you just like the sheep stick is really necessary against the Ember.
Oh, Shadowblade BKB Scythe.
I
No Manta,
I
no
don't think
Manta.
the Shadow
Manta,
Blade was
yeah.
correct. I'll tell you that, but
Oh, interesting.
the fact that he got the Shadow Blade and then died 4 times, I don't know. You know,
You
Like
just
the-
buy shit. You think is you just. I mean, the Shadowblade got the kill on Ember. It's more about the utility and the fact that it makes you scale significantly faster. Like, it gives you raw damage output, gives you a mobility tool.
It's
You
just
move
cool
around.
with the Hex too.
Yeah.
And at some point, you're gonna have, when you take the CD talent and you have Silver Edge, you're
we'll
permanent.
chop it up
invis.
to this is why he's at the land and I'm
Yeah. Well, it's
watching
more.
him at the land.
The thing is, you need a build-up item on Shadow Fiend, right? Before
Yeah.
BKB, and it's
You
like,
really
do
don't
you-
want to go Manta first item.
Yeah, it's like it used to be maybe like drum. There was drums. There was a time when they were like mech way back in the day. Dragonlance
I
before
thought
it got
Lance.
nerfed.
Yeah, I thought
But
Lance.
Shadowblade's like a little more expensive and gives you way more utility and better stats.
Is there a core that I'm not thinking of that would just like to go Manta first in this meta? Just like first item?
First time.
Not really.
No, I don't think it exists.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't for SF, because you already flash farm.
Yeah. It's too
Yeah.
expensive as well. Shadowblade's such a cheap item. I actually think it's.
I just thought
it's not
during
OP,
BKB
but
he's gonna like. I just didn't want him to have to BKB during like a CMW or like a Ember route. Like that just doesn't feel good. But
so what would you want him to buy?
I'm saying like you buy BKB, but then later on you
First
buy a
item
Manta so
BKB?
that you don't have. No,
Do you-
I
do
said
you know how
I was
much
thinking
Manta
Lance,
costs?
Lance BKB.
Who's got money for a Manta? Economy's in the toilet.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You
The
gotta
Dota
get.
economy.
Isn't Manta? What is Manta? It's like
It's 4,800, I think 49.
I think it's 49.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
All right,
Oh, we
our
gotta-
guy's
we
gonna.
40. Oh, I nailed it the first time.
AC is like 5,200 comparatively.
That's true. Sheepstick is only 1,000 more.
Yeah. And just think about like what it gives you in fights. Like at this point, I don't know.
Just
SF
wait
doesn't
for it.
need more damage. That's
Last
my
item,
argument.
Manta.
You just need positioning. You have enough built in with your talents, your skills.
Yeah, at some point, the issue with this hero is that you don't really have catch, and going for this build, it
And
gives you catch.
CDR level 25 eventually, so you have
Yeah.
like a
You have
13
permanent
second
uptime on
cooldown.
Shadowblade.
Sheepstick too.
I just wish LDI had grouped up a bit earlier. I feel like they're. Whoa.
See, this is the scary part about playing SF in a game like this: is you just have to preemptively pop your BKB.
Oh.
They might even still
actually-
get
Oh, nah, he's good.
He's fine.
Just
He's
barely.
fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
Pudge
look at
died.
Zai,
Good
though.
Zai.
Yeah.
What's happening down here?
That's
Zai
the
just
kind of
buys back.
moment that I'm talking about that you don't want to have to BKB for. That's why I thought Manta, alright? Like, I'm not saying it was correct. That was what I imagined happening.
What?
The
Whoa.
nullifier.
Oh, he's going in a bit.
He's got a Remnant.
Just getting the tier 3.
He's just forcing reactions. It's a good play.
Oh, sentry down.
They might lose heroes at bottom.
Pugna's in some trouble. Oh, nope, he's fine.
Nice escape.
Pika's
That's
getting away with a
unhealable
lot.
damage.
We'll be able to force him away.
What do you think about this nullifier? I'm not a huge. I don't know. It's a weird choice because like I feel like all the heroes need to be orchided as well. Like Pugna can just decrep himself, and then Ember just can remnant away. Lone Druid can just use his armor after. I don't know.
I mean, you gotta assume BKBs are gonna come out eventually on the Ember and the Lone Druid, I suppose. I still stand by. I really don't like this Ags on Lone Druid though. I feel like they've taken their foot off the gas entirely.
I
And
agree.
yeah, he's still incredibly ahead, but what's your timing now to like go end the game for your LDI?
Yeah.
What's the play?
Doesn't it just tell you though, like, it's like you said, once you get the Ags on him and you just don't continue to scale in your bear, you're essentially saying, I don't think we can win fights anymore.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with you because I felt like when they were grouped up, they were doing okay. That was a huge misstep at top, not having the sentries and going in. I mean, their courier was dead. They probably just thought they had a timing because heroes were dead.
Yeah.
But
Nice play.
realistically speaking, you probably are fine.
Yep. It didn't feel like they had lost. Like it wasn't the right time to give up hope.
So they're smoked up right now. CCNC with the Hex.
He's got it straight away. And he goes onto the Pugna. Pados still alive for now. They will
Nice
turn with the
yours.
Ice Blast. The Reaper Scythe is down as well. There's 2 down at the moment on Let's Do It. They have lost 2 as well on OpTic. There's a third.
Oh,
CCNC will
blocked by
find them.
Lincolns.
That's Lone Druid down for 130 seconds it was. It's Catsol.
Nullifier cooldown? I don't know what it is.
Yep, that's where the Scythe comes in. You get this initial kill on Pugna, which is such a key target, and then the rest of your team is now like you're starting a fight 5v4. You invest these early BKBs. I think Pycat killed the AA with his, so you start the fight 5v3 just by spending core BKBs. The rest of the fight plays itself.
Yeah. Now the
Just like,
fights.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say now the fights are really hectic.
Yeah.
It's like you can't. This Weaver gets on top of your heroes, and they're no longer doing this like tight ball thing. They're spread out. They're just getting
Yep.
picked off one-on-one. This is how Pycat wants to play this game. He's just like, I'll find one support after another.
Yep.
I was just thinking if the Lone Druid had like pipe Vlads instead of an Ags.
I also wish we had a BKB on Ember. The thing is, I've only ever seen maybe successfully make BKB Ember look really strong, but I think this is the perfect game for it.
Yeah.
If they go high ground behind Lone Druid Bear, they drop a Pugna ward, they just hit tower, and Ember has a 10-second BKB to spend. Like, I don't know how you actually fight into them.
Is he dead? Nope. Never mind.
Artur, do you think this? Can you step up to the mic? Can you? Do you think this game is 100% OpTic win?
I haven't watched it at all. Can they hear me?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can hear you.
I heard Zai has 16 deaths.
Does he really?
It's not great. I think he does.
Can
I
you
think
flash,
he does
flash
by now.
the
Can we click to
Can we
the
show
Pudge?
Zai?
Does he have 6?
80.
He has 18.
Jeez.
How many of those are suicides?
I think one.
I believe one.
One.
Holy shit, he had a rough one. What happened?
laning
He's
stage
1,
was rough.
18, and 11.
Laning stage was rough. Started top, died a few times to a few roots when Lone Druid hit 5, came mid to get levels, and Ember Spirit just killed him over and over again.
What's the Zai game if I ever seen one? But the thing about Zai is he might just hit this hook and they might win, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
And then everything that happened before doesn't matter.
Everything happens for a reason, guys.
That was poetic from Artur there.
1, 18, and 11.
His
But-
first comment, I heard Zai had 16 deaths.
Hey, as long as you're winning, right?
Hey, yeah. I mean, I'm just mad that he got that one kill, because if he dies 2 more times and then wins, it would have been
Kyle,
the Malcolm.
would you say you played with some people that would are there players you think that would rather go like 20-0 and lose rather than go 0-20 and win?
Yeah, they definitely exist.
Really?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Well, but surely winning is a way. You don't care how you win, do you?
I have had the...
You don't have to call anybody
I'm
out.
not calling anyone out. No,
Yeah.
I'm
But
just
you
saying
did.
I've
Let's
had
go.
the
The
I've had
displeasure.
the
Let's go. Let's go.
displeasure
Yeah.
of playing with numerous people that
Yeah.
wouldn't care necessarily about the results of the series. It's more about like how well did they play.
Yeah.
They'd be fine with losing if they could safely say, you know, it was this person. It wasn't my fault,
Yeah.
which is incredibly toxic.
Yeah, it's definitely never the carry's fault.
The main thing about the milk thing is that he won.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Is-
he won.
I'm mad that Zai has a kill.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's actually this close to having the Malcolm ward if he didn't have that kill.
Also, is this the first Aegis?
This is second.
Second.
Yeah,
OpTic
OpTic got
took
the
the
first.
first one,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. I was like, man, this game.
They might be able to contest this. Yeah, I mean,
They
they
are
have the Weaver
definitely
focus
going to
a
contest this.
scout.
Look at the
and
positioning by
SF.
CCNC over the top.
And he goes with the BKB straight away with the Hex on Telesash. They got the Reaper Scythe onto the AA, knocks Telesash out for 100. So the Pycat chasing down Exotic Deer. Exotic Deer's got the Savage Roar, pushes Weaver back. They through the BKB looking to commit onto Nisha. The chain's coming out, holding down CCNC. The Bear's still trying to go to work
They're
on
going to give up the
33.
Aegis. It's getting
Indeed, they're
low.
into the pit. They're looking to finish it off OpTic.
Look at
Can
Nisha.
they do anything?
Trying to
Nisha's
find the
on the
timing.
side. He can't get in. Oh, he
Oh, he
can!
gets it!
He gets the 8. They didn't
No
pick up the
way.
Aegis in time. They were a little slow there, OpTic. They didn't pick the Aegis up. Nisha will grab it. Exotic Deer is still there on the side. Can Nisha get back in and do anything off the back of this? He's got the chains. Jumps forward with the remnants.
Great glimmer.
Still playing around with PPD and
Nice
33.
yours.
CCNC now looking back towards Exotic Deer. Pycat is on the bear and will find Exotic Deer. Deer's down. There's the Hex. The Death Wall from PPD will finish off Nisha a second time. Reaper Scythe's back up and he's
GG.
back down straight onto the CM. It's 5 dead.
It was a good hook attempt by Zai in the end.
Yeah.
While his team was making all those sick plays.
That was a zoning hook.
Exactly. He set him up for the
Yeah.
Hex.
You got to cut off the escape.
Exactly.
You said if you don't run this way, you're going to run right back into my SF.
Lose, mother.
I try to explain that to my teammates. They never understand.
They never
Well,
see it.
They never see the lines.
The zoning arrows and hooks.
Yes, yes.
So I want to give more, just make sure we're all giving credit to OpTic where it's due. Because while I do feel LDI, they played a solid game, maybe a couple mistakes, but you know it's Dota. You make one error and it leads into another maybe strategical flaw, and all of a sudden you're just behind in what should have been maybe a one game. But OpTic earned this victory 100%.
Yeah.
I think 3-3 once again proving like this guy can play anything and he does it. His item builds and the way he plays are just flawless. Like the Vit booster for HP after the Hood and the Yules into Ags into BKB. Like
How many
I find
times
no
do you see
fault with
those
any of those
exact
items.
4 items or
Yeah.
5 items on Necro?
I feel like both teams played their
the
lineups
hook.
pretty well.
Oh, into the side.
Ouch.
158 seconds, no buyback.
Go
And
take
can we,
a potty
Can we
break.
just click the Shadow Fiend real fast? Just want to make sure that there's no Manta or Hurricane Pike on them. Interesting.
An MKB.
Interesting.
Hey, man, you know, let's just chop it up to playstyle differences here.
Oh, winning and losing.
Yeah. VSJ doesn't care about winning and losing, all right?
I'm the guy that's going to go 20-0. I'm not going to kill anybody, but I'm never going to die. Okay? So, but we may lose, but I'm 20-0.
That's more. I like the way CCNC approaches. The way OpTic seems to approach the games is like, what items? How do we win a fight? When are we going to win this fight? And they itemize for that timing together. I feel like that was what was missing with LDI. They got this AC on the bear. If you have BKB Ember, and you just drop Pugna Ward and go, I do not know how you lose that in that fight because there's one BKB up on the Shadow Fiend. Otherwise, I just don't think anyone dies. But you go the Ags on Lone Druid, all their pressure disappears, and suddenly they've lost. Also, CM is very farmed.
Does get the hook. X is out onto the Pugna, but Pugna does have buyback if he wants to get back in, and he will. Paddle straight back into the game. The Reaper Scythe slayed down. They can find it. The Ice Blast onto 33, but the BKB's out straight away. Hex again.
God, that
Give
Hex.
themselves another. That's going to be 3 down.
Oh, the hook!
Without buyback, Zai has got the setup on Telly Sash. GG is called. OpTic will take game 1. Quite a game 1 indeed, though. I think let's do it. It looked like they did have it off the back of it. A lot more than we sort of gave them credit for off the draft at the start.
Yeah, I think they played their draft pretty well, actually. They had some missteps, but for the most part, they prioritized the right lanes. Felt like Nisha, as usual, played a very good game. And aside, like, that top play, I think will haunt them.
Yep.
Because you'll think to yourself, like, maybe this game was hard to win because of the draft, but we did a really good job up until that point. And that's when you know you got outdrafted. Is like you lose one fight and then the game's just
Yeah, I was
over.
gonna say however many mistakes you can afford to make before you lose. I
Yep.
just was gonna say that like we saw in the draft in regards to the fact that they picked this lone druid hero and it's just countered. And it's like even though it was the #1 net worth and they hit their timing and maybe you're right, he might have like overreacted to his like the one failed push, but when you have a hero that's just countered innately as the game goes on and he's the one high net worth in the game, it just makes the game look really difficult.
Yeah. They certainly needed a much higher degree of execution to take the game.
Yeah,
I like
sure.
the pick because of the way it complemented their lineup. You could see like the logic behind
And
it.
they played it well.
It's just
like,
it was a good play from OpTic, and it totally swings the game, and that's really all there is to it. It's Dota 2. Sometimes you can make the best of a poor situation, and you lose.
Yeah. Oh, well. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 of this 2-game series, first 2-game series of the day, of course, between OpTic and Let's Do It, and OpTic will take the game. Quite a fun game, though, indeed, so don't go anywhere. We're going to have game 2 right around the corner after a short break, and it should be very exciting. We'll see you soon for game 2 of OpTic versus Let's Do It.